Well, I agree with everyone that it is important, but I think that one of the things that we're missing is that we have not educated our youth, or for that matter, just society, on the people that have been so instrumental in building this country. I mean, it was built on minorities. They're the ones that built this country and never received any credit for it. So with that frustration and with the additional poverty and being hated on, I mean, it's only right that you would turn around and hate the person that's closest to you. I mean, these are people that, for example, my previous profession was working with incarcerated youth, okay, that were incarcerated based on points by the court system, how many times they were caught robbing, and they started from the age of 13 and ended at the age of 19. And their education, the majority of these kids were like, their education went as far as 8th grade. So you're dealing with a mentality. If you look at the educational, how far they've come, if you only know but so much, like you've all said, what are you left with? Your fist. And if you're not going to use your fist, you're going to use whatever weapon you can get. So one of my questions is, why is it so easy to get a gun, but yet it's so hard to get these kids to go through a school, a technical school, because it's not there. So what we can argue about Black Lives Matter and we can protest, but like what we're doing right now is speaking about it. We need to start doing something and setting up a foundation, stripping the education system, which is based on an industrial 150-year antiquated system that doesn't work. And not everyone has that opportunity to go to school. So whatever happened to having a trade? you know I mean, and right now with COVID, I find that a lot of people are finding themselves and reinventing themselves and learning how to do something, with their hands, learning a skill, learning a different language, learning to sing. And I think that's where it starts. And in a way, I feel like this COVID has really made us have to get back to basics. So, you know I think that that's what needs to happen. We need to get back to basics and start addressing from the ground up and start building our 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 youth. And the youth right now, they're not afraid, and that's scary. But in a way, it's not scary because they're not they're not stuck with all these fears that were enforced on us. So they don't understand the civil rights. They just know that it's not right. That's it. It's not right to treat somebody poorly. Yet we're stuck on civil rights, that never really worked for everyone. There's no
Right.
equality. So these kids don't feel that way. They feel like everybody is the same, and they really feel that way. And I have 3 kids that marched in the marches here. We went to the marches, and it poured, and I was soaking wet, and we did it. And I cried because I looked at my kids, and they really felt this. They really felt like this was right. This was right to do. And even when they did the whole "I can't breathe," and we kneeled on the wet pavement, we all felt that. And it wasn't only for that one person. It was for everyone. And you felt it. And this cry is for everyone, and we need to stop talking and let's start figuring out how we're going to change the system. Even our the politics, everything needs to get dismantled and brought back up. you
I
know
agree. T, just one second.
I got
I
a
gotta
lot to
calm down. I gotta calm down for a minute because I just got a comment. So let me. Okay. All right. So
Oh, I see
Edward
it.
Carter says, "What was okay? I want y'all to calm down. Let me just read this comment. What was John Lewis or any other guys done within the last 30 years? No disrespect. I knew about him until I knew about him until the impeachment of 45. I think I think he meant he only knew John Lewis until the impeachment of 45. We have not had a black leader who spoke or one voice's decade. Okay, let me do this one, please. Please, y'all, let me do this one, please. Okay, Mr. Carter, let me say this, okay? Because I'm all up in my neck about John Lewis, okay? So this man already did what he needed to do. Everybody's looking for a black leader. Mr. Carter, my brother, okay? Why aren't you a leader? Why are we waiting for somebody else to be a leader? You need to be a leader in your community. Let's not worry about Cory Booker and all those people. If you become a leader in your community or do something in your household, which I'm sure you are, that then spreads out into the community. Because once you're a leader in your household, it goes into the community. Then if you help the community, then that helps a village. We need to stop looking for celebrities to be leaders, to be spokespeople. We need to step up and stop looking around and start looking in the mirror. Okay, because I'm sick and tired of, we ain't got no more leaders out there. Okay, let me say it again. We have no more leaders out there. We have to be our own leaders. Okay, so I get riled up when I hear that. If you're looking for a leader, look in the mirror. We need to be our own leaders, and then we can move up and do other things. Because I'm sorry, but I had to say that. He said he's a middle school teacher, but that's just how I feel. I'm sick of where's Cory Booker? Where's Jesse Jackson? Barack Obama. He was president. Why don't we start looking within our neighborhood, within our household? That's what I have to say. My next question to you. Okay, T, go ahead. You want to ask that question? Because I got a hot one coming up after that one.
So what I would like to say is that the reason why the youth probably don't look at us as we are serious is because each generation that they've seen before them has only been talking and marching. They haven't seen nothing come out of the talking and the marching. Nothing. And then where I would say about for the example of the role models, they pulled the role models out of the house, which is the mama and the daddy. They took the daddy out the house. ACS played a big part in that in disrupting the family household. I can tell you that because I worked with them. You know what I'm saying? They did a big part of what they did to us. And then back to this brother here. Have you not been listening to Farrakhan? He's my opinion. Mr. Farrakhan is my leader because he's the only black man that's been standing up, speaking truth to our oppressors. And there's no other leaders have been out there speaking against the beast like Farrakhan has. Farrakhan just spoke July 4th. How many other reverends or anyone out there have spoke out there for us and asked for reparations for us and said it just like what I said about the 3/5 being human? Who else has been speaking against them on that? That's why they're trying to kill Farrakhan, because he's the only leader that has been really standing in the front line, who's been there in the past, walking the march from the beginning and still there to this day. And not speaking with the people who's paying money want him to speak, because he's not getting paid from no government. All them other reverends, they getting a government check and they speak and give sermons on what they want to give the sermons on. So that's why our people are still dead bones walking and nobody's woke. Some people are woke, but a lot of us are not woke. A lot of us want to get along, just go along just to get along. And my thing is going along to get along don't work for me. And I can't continue in this society the same way it's been, because all this talking and marching is not going to make us equal. We need our own. No. It's time for us to segregate and get our own. That's the only way, because we're begging for things that should be given to us. The Jews they got their reparations for things that took place over there in Germany. We're in America, and our people died and built this country, and we got to beg for reparations. We got to beg for anything. I mean, aren't y'all tired of it? I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. This is what I'm talking about. The real deal is why we can't move forward, because the injustice is too deep. It's too many layers. We have to separate from them because they redesigned a new man within us that made us weak, that made us to be separated against our family, that caused us to have all this dysfunction to go on. They never healed us when they sent us off. So how can we be upset with people who have a lack of education because they didn't have a family to help? Yes, nowadays there's no excuse for you not to go and seek out knowledge. But prior to living in a family of a bunch of dysfunction, with people with their own hangups within the family can't get it right within themselves. So how can we get it right with society? There's a lot of things that have to change, that has to be done in order for us to move forward. The Black man and woman has not been dealt well since we've been on this planet. Since we came to their world, because they took us from our world and brought us into theirs. We were stripped of our language, our food. We were stripped of our atmosphere, everything. So how can we be who we are supposed to be if they took it from us and redesigned us to be them? Now their children is more respectful, and our children turned out to be the animals. Before, back in the days, their children was, I'll kill all of you. They can't even sleep in the house with some of their children because their children was threatening to us. Our children, as poverty as we were very humble and very respectful and helping the family. Now they don't took the mother out where she was the foundation of everything that took place in the household has been removed, and we out there working. Then they put the 90s. I'm a 90s girl. and living in the 90s world. So we don't need a Black man anymore. So a lot of us are very independent without a man. So we have so many things that we have to address in order for us to come back whole as a people. That's why the children are crazy, because the family is broken. The mama and daddy is not together as a team. They're seeing a lot of separation going on. You understand? I know I have a lot I want trying to get out, and it may sound like I'm babbling, but it's just so many layers that it's going to take more than it's going to take more than this one piece for us to really address the truth. And if you are scared to stand up for truth and actually say what you need to say, then you shouldn't be coming out to say nothing, because we have to address the truth in order for us to change. We can't be sugarcoating nothing and trying to fake over what the real deal is. The real deal is that Black people are oppressed, and we are not looked at as human beings, so we can never be equal in their world. That's why we have to separate and refine our minds, meaning to come back to who we are supposed to be, so that we can live in our best self. So we could be our best self, I should say. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry I said a whole lot.
No.
Well, it starts with the Constitution, because this Constitution very clearly states that we're less than. So
that's the only thing we should be calling and shouting for, is for that to be removed. Because until we address that, nothing else can be handled or changed. I'm sorry.
I have a question, because T just brought something up. She mentioned reparation. What are your thoughts about reparation? Should we have it? What are your thoughts about that? And why? Yet why or why not? So I'd like to start with Adina.
I mean, reparations for what? What are we doing? Because what money?
It's for you. That question's out there, so for you to make that decision.
It's a hypothetical question. It's like, okay, I mean, everyone's asking, okay, reparation for what? For what now? Because what's been told to the youth now is, well, you didn't go through slavery. That may be your ancestors, but you are an American. Okay, but you're not treated as an equal. So what are the reparations for? Like, are we looking for individual, a monetary fee, or are we looking to re-educate society? Because I think that's what we need. I think that's what's happening right now. There are a lot of people that feel that this is, there is injustice, and where does it start, and what do we do? Well, it starts with knowing who our constituents are. Who are we putting to stand and make the rules for our community? Who are we putting there? I mean, are they really for us? Are we, like you said, are we becoming leaders ourselves? Because it starts with yourself, and actually taking an initiative and not just talking about it. So how do we go about doing that? Because it really is about healing. We can't change our past. And if I may just share with everybody, I did one of those DNA testing. I told Jackie, but Jackie never said anything. I said, I got my DNA test back. And I was waiting to see what it was going to say. Okay. And it said that I was 45% European from Iberia. And the rest was Nigerian. Okay. So I was very happy, but then I was sad, because I know that the Spaniards were the ones that started this process. And all I kept thinking was, wow, my ancestors raped my other ancestors. And the process began. Okay. And then my people ended up in Puerto Rico, which is still a commonwealth. And they want freedom. They want to be away from the United States, but they will never do that because they can't come together as a whole. And that dependency that we have on our government is what's holding us back. And yes, we need to address the Constitution. We really do, because there's a lot of things in there that a lot of people don't know are there, and they hold us back. So how do we get there? So what is it that we're trying to get?
Okay.
Is that what should be on the table? Changing the Constitution?
Miss Ali, I'd like you to unmute, and I'd like because you have been through, for those who don't know, when it comes to the NAACP, Miss Ali, she knows any and everyone she's involved in, and I'm a member as well. So is Miss Sabrina. We're part of and I didn't want to, but sitting down, because I didn't understand it, because I've been to some, but sitting down with Miss Ali and Miss Sabrina, I just fell in love with the location that I'm a part of. So Miss Nadine, can you please talk to us about, in your opinion, what do you think about reparations? Should we have it or not? Why and why
not? Thanks for asking me.
I can't hear you.
It's unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's unmuted.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just going to say, of course, I've always been civically engaged out in the community since I've been in high school. I don't know if people remember 40 acres and a mule is what was promised to us. So that's why people have been raising, the question and saying that we definitely need to get that, what was promised to us. I'll agree we should get what was promised to us, but we all know in reality, lots been promised to Blacks, and if you don't do it for yourself, who will? Constitutionally, the Constitution definitely need to be updated. I am the political action person of our NAACP, the CAP branch. That's one of the things, that's one of the committees that we have is, I can't think of the name of it right now, legal redress. That's one of the things I've always asked our lawyers who work with us, and everybody, of course, is volunteers, to have some seminars, events where you are asking the public, to come. So to educate, a lot of people, and you always can educate yourself, but with those open dialogues like that with people, as a community getting knowledgeable about the Constitution, I definitely have always stated the Constitution need to be updated. It doesn't need to be slammed down the river like number 45 wanted to be, but we should continue to educate ourselves. Don't wait for others to do that for us. And that's why I always have mentioned that empower our children like we've always. I came from that era, and empowering them, and most importantly, letting them know that they are somebody. Back to the reparations, we need to get what we was promised, but guess what? Don't die over it and kill because we haven't. Let's start doing our own, okay? Making sure sustainability is there for ourselves. But that's just my take on it. Of course, we can be here all night, but, that's my take on it.
Thank you, Ms. Nadine. I'd like Ms. Sabrina, what is your take on it? Ms. Nadine, please mute your mic. Thank you. Ms. Sabrina, what is your take on reparation? What does it look like to you?
I agree with Ms. Torres and Ms. Ali. First of all, what does it look like? And what is it going towards? when we get it? Do we have a plan in action? Should they say today, okay, we want to pay reparations to XYZ families that came from, that was enslaved during this time? Do we know who our ancestors are? It goes back to what we talked about before of our families. First of all, how many of our family members know who our ancestors are that the reparations will be paid to? That's number one. Number two, do we have a plan in place? Should they say today, okay, we want to give reparations, what does that look like in our community? Do we have a plan in place already for that? Okay, I'm not going to tell you how many people have given me what their plan looks like, even down to the Black Lives Matter movement, which was totally absurd. Let me just throw that out there. Secondly, I am in 100% agreement. The Constitution needs to be ripped up, shredded, and rewritten, and have it apply to all people. Because when it was written, it was not written for us. Okay, that's what I want to say.
Okay, let me piggyback on something you said, because I got to reel it back in. It don't matter look, as long as I look like this, I deserve reparations.
But the bottom part of that is because we have so many mixed race relationships, right? You do have those. Wait, let me finish, ladies. You do have those mixed race relationships. So I'm dealing with, because I talk to everybody. I deal with this group right here in the middle that talked about reparations. My mom is white, my daddy is black, or vice versa. Where do I fit into that?
Okay.
How am I going to get? Okay. How do I get paid from that? How do I get reparations?
Let me tell you how.
So that was the first conversation. So my response to that, baby, if you got black blood in you, you're black.
Thank you. Okay. So that's what I'm saying.
My reply to that. If you have black blood in you, you're black. My only question is, if you get reparations now, ladies, everybody on this board, what does it look like?
Well, I want land, I want money, I want
no taxes,
school, I want education.
Right. Everything should be. Can I say this? That the Jewish people, they didn't discriminate on them. They got citizenship here and in Israel. And the black people who were part of that package deal, who's claiming that they were Jews when they went down in 85 and went to Israel and did that whole transformation, they getting reparations too. So why we always got to figure out shit, excuse my language, why do we always got to figure things out instead of get it done? Everybody else, when it comes down to
how many of us have been to Africa?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
We get dual citizenship.
No, what I'm saying, we already citizens. Whoever is here, we already citizens here.
Will we be welcome there? Will we get citizenship there?
No, they don't. Let me tell you something. We was stolen from over there. So they don't, if we go back, they'll welcome us to come back over there. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, while you are here in the US and you're working and you paying taxes, you should be able to get reparations. Let's stop all the bull crap. If you've been here and you've been working, you should receive that reparations package. Okay? Because when it came down to the Jews,
I'm fine with it. My question is, what does it look like?
I don't know what it looked like, but everybody should be able to get something, meaning that whatever the welfare that we get, because Jews get welfare too. They get Section 8, they get welfare, and they get food stamp. So we should get it without having any problems, the same way how they don't get problems. My last name gave me a lot of information on how they get what they get and why I don't get what I get. Once they see my black face, all of that information done changed on me. There's a different color ticket that a black person get than what a Jewish person get. We go to welfare, we wait there the whole day. They go in and they got a advocate that already made the appointment for them. So all they got to do is actually just show up, and they're in and out. I had got a purple ticket and they was giving the blue tickets to, this is a while ago when I was starting out and I went to get some welfare. Yes, I've been and got things from the system too. So that's why I'm saying that I know and I see the difference that what my name does, what me having that last name does. And then when they see that it's me, it get changed immediately. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is that why do we always have to go to what it looked like? What do it look like now? What do it look like now? How much better can it look from what it looked now? Anything is better than what it looked like now. You got to beg for this. You got to beg for that. When the Jews go, all they got to do is give a name and they in and out. We got to sit there suffering through the whole thing, all minorities, which makes no sense to me. I don't understand that. I really don't.
I want to interject here. My thing is, I don't care if you get $1 million or let's say $30,000. I don't care what you want to do with your $30,000. And I understand, do we get the 40 acres, a mule, and money? Then there are some that are saying, well, maybe we need to structure things. Whatever it is, let's come to the table. Let's first start the discussion. Let's at least have a discussion. Then we can, if we got to figure it out, whatever. But let's have the discussion. But along with the discussion, because like T was mentioning, we're marching, and some things aren't happening. Let's have the discussion, because I want this to be results. I want this to be results.
We got to change that 3/5 in the books. We got to change that first before anything could be addressed, because they're not going to address anything, because like you said, we wasn't part of the package deal. When the founding fathers created America, we was not supposed to be included in the working field. We was free labor. Let's get that clear. So if we was here for free labor, why the hell you think that they want to give us anything? Why do you think they would have gave it to us already?
Zena,
so we begging still. We still gonna be begging forever. We gonna be begging. We don't need to beg for nothing.
Okay, Zena, I need you to weigh in on this.
You know, to piggyback, because Adina had said something as far as learning a trade, education, how COVID has affected a lot of things moving forward. And I always reference, and I tell, even in speaking to my daughter, I told her, I said, never again in time will we be able to get this time that we're home and being able to do a lot of things that we've been able to achieve within the past 3 months. And it's important that with even a lot of tech companies had offered like free workshops online on how to learn to code and, you know, how to do technology workshops and even free online courses for certificate programs. And it's important that once the curtain rises, because it's going to rise at some point, once the curtain raises, I should say, it's important for us to be able to come out and say that we've achieved something during this time that we've had off. As far as reparation, what does reparation to me look like? It's, in order for us to be effective, we have to build a strong foundation, because everything starts with a strong foundation, right? So when you build a house, you don't build a house from the roof down. You build a house from the foundation up. So if reparation is able to give you a sound foundation, and that means different things to different people, right? Once we're able to build a foundation, no matter where you are on the spectrum, if you're able to achieve a lot of things that you weren't able to necessarily be able to achieve prior to that, that's where I believe that reparation should come in. But right now, because of the amendment, I mean, the amendment, the whole concept of the amendment and how it needs to be modified has been a conversation now for quite some time. And because we really do not any longer have many leaders, and I believe that it's a little bit more difficult for our young Black men, because Black women are doing a lot of big things, right? You see where we have, I was reading an article where they say that Black females have the highest level of education over any woman in the country. And for some strange reason, because there's no guidance for our Black men, they're struggling, right? So, and I understand that it has a lot to do with the separation. I mean, most of us grew up on the movie Claudine. I remember the movie Claudine, right? Where, you know, she was working, but yet, you know, the ACS representative had to come in and hide the toaster in the closet, and the husband had to sit there and hide in the bathroom. And I remember when the ACS representative came in and the husband came out of the bathroom, and she was like, "Oh, like y'all do that, really?" You know. So it's a lot of different things, but because we're so economically strapped that when you compare, let's say, your income to a lot of your peers, you can say, well, wow, you know, in some cases you may be more experienced, you may have more knowledge, but yet the playing field is not the same. Until we can bring that foundation in the playing field to be equal and even, only then will we be able to push and move forward.
And Dina, and I also think too that, because I know as a little girl going to the banks, you know, like with my father and stuff, and even my husband and I discussed it. When we were young, we never saw a lot of Black families taking their children to the banks. It was always the white families. And I never understood, like, where are people like me in the bank, with their parents depositing money and stuff like that. So I think we also need that. We need to start in the house when you have children. Let them know about money. And the reason we need to do that is, we all know that these basketball players or these athletes, 5 years after retirement, majority of them, they go broke. And these guys get $1 million contracts. So we need to know it's not how much you have, is what you do with what you do have, and tiding and things like that. Okay, I'm gonna bring something up because we have 2 more questions and then we can roll out. Okay. Black people, where in the heck is the church? We should not have to depend on Uncle Sam, the welfare system, because you damn sure get enough of my tithe in the church. And I'm talking about the Black church, okay? I'm talking about, we have these churches who have all these leaders, and I'm not talking about the cars that they're driving. Let's put that aside. We're not talking about their $1 million homes. Let's put that aside, because I'm putting them on Front Street right now, okay? I'm sick of it. We have, and that's what I love about the Jewish community. They take care of each other. We have the Black church. We have these multi-denominational churches who have 4 services. You have people who are taking the bus to church. They're not getting buses to pick these people up, the elderly and the people who can't afford it. My issue that I have tonight is, where in the hell, and yes, excuse me, Miss Nadine, where in the hell is the Black church? Because I'm so sick of it right now, because I'm like, we are going through COVID. We're going through all of this. We had a church down here was charging people, and they blasted me on social media because we had a church that was charging for, I think, COVID testing, but they made an arrangement with the laboratory. I think it was a Black laboratory, and they were charging people. My thing is, you making a lot of money. They done brought you from, I'm not even gonna put, if I say it, they're gonna know what church I'm talking about. They gonna bring you from up north to come down here, and you're gonna charge people? I don't understand. We keep talking about leaders. Mr. Carter talked about our leaders. Where is the church? Where's the church? Because back in Africa, we had our tribes. From what we're hearing and through history, we worked together in the village. If I gave birth, and I had to go, plow the field or do whatever, the other women in the village helped me watch my kids. Where in the hell is the church? I'm like, where is the Black church in all of this? T, I'm putting you on hold for a minute now because I need you to calm down for a minute. But where is the Black church? I'm in Atlanta. When I came here, I was told it was the Black Mecca. When I arrived, there was no Black and there was no Mecca because no one was trying to help me. Okay, when I came down here to Atlanta. Okay, so I developed relationships, and it was a lot of Caucasian people that gave me a leg up. I'm gonna keep it real because I didn't see no Black, I didn't see no Mecca. I'm like, I wanted my money back because y'all done lied to me. Y'all bamboozled me. That's why we came here. Okay, but I'm loving it now because it's different. So I love it. And someone said church is a business. They have a tax exemption status. Change that and you'll see where they are. And I'm a Christian. You got that right. We got to start calling out. See, this is the thing. There's something in the Bible, I can't remember the scripture, where people are confusing it, where you can't call out the pastor in the church, because if you talk bad about the pastor in the church, you going to hell. That's what some people feel, because I spoke with, and I don't think you have to be disrespectful, but challenge your church. You want my tithes? I've seen people who commit 10%, 15% of their tithes. They get sick. They're getting eviction notice, and the church is not there. And it's the same church I'm talking about. And the church is not there. We have, come on now. We're the congregation. We should be the church. We should hold these leaders to par. How you gonna have Kanye West come down to an Atlanta? I'm gonna say it, and I don't care what y'all say. How you gonna have Kanye West come down to Atlanta, charge all this money to come, because now you're tripling your tithes, and then the church is paying him X amount of dollars, and people were so incensed by this that the church, I don't know, I think they ask money back for Kanye or something. How you gonna bring Kanye West when you know he's short of a Fruit Loop right now? Bring him up into the church, and no disrespect to mental health. So I go to a therapist, but you know you bringing him here so people can come, so you can get your money in the tithing, but you're not giving the money back in the community. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm on it, because these churches, I'm lighting y'all. I'm lighting y'all on my next podcast. I'm lighting y'all because I'm sick of it. We talking about the white man, the white man, the white man. Let's stop talking about the white man. Let's talk about the church, okay? Wusa. Okay, now, okay. T, you wanted to say something. Now I need you to go hard like I just went hard. I need you to tone it down.
I'm calm now. I apologize if I went a little bit.
No. Don't apologize.
But the thing is, we have to be truthful to ourselves. I gotta be who I am. I'm not gonna be anybody else on this platform than who I am. I'm true to myself, and I'm a Black lover. You understand? I love everybody, but this is particularly about our people who have been wrong. So we have to stop apologizing. I'm not apologizing for me loving on my Black people and making a fact that is known that we have been oppressed for too long, and that I'm just a Black woman who's tired of seeing the real and knowing that the church, the mosques, the synagogues, those are supposed to be hospitals for the people.
Yes.
That's supposed to be a place where you go to get healed, and you're not supposed to stay there. You're supposed to come out and share that wealth with other people. That's why Jesus didn't stay in one building. Jesus was a traveler. So let's come on, church people, be some travelers and come out of the building and stop thinking like the building won't crumble, okay? Because we are all right now under judgments on our behavior and action towards one another. It's either you for him or you against him, because if you're for him, then you're going to do what's right. You're not going to allow certain things to hinder you for standing for truth. Because if you got to be scared to speak the truth, then you don't need to come out and say nothing. I'm just going to call everything what it is. And I don't know about anybody else, but I know me, I stand for truth. Wherever day God decide that I'm supposed to leave this planet, I want to know I'm leaving here because I stood here and I did what God told me to do. So whatever is coming out of my mouth is because God want me to confess it, because whoever's watching need to hear it. We need to speak straight truth and facts, not no buffers on what's really going on with our community. And we got to stop bringing in other things when we're dealing with us. We do that all the time. That's what pissed me off. If we're talking about us, let's talk about us. We don't need to bring in any other race. Spanish people, y'all Black, y'all with us. So that's not a different race. Y'all with us. So when we talk about Blacks, we talk about Latinos, even though y'all been, a lot of Latinos have been brainwashed to think that they're white. Okay? So, and when we get these factors straight, that we got to stop trying to erase the Blackness. You understand what I'm saying? Then we can move forward, but people, they want to erase that and want to step over it and then keep ignoring Black people voices where we are invisible when we're in the street. You know, there's been plenty of times that I will walk in Manhattan and you looking for directions and you ask a Caucasian person, they will look beyond you. They don't even hear you asking the question. I'm tired of being ignored like if I don't exist when I am the originator. I'm a Black queen, a beautiful Black queen, original, a maker of civilizations, and I want the respect that is due. And no, it's not just being strong. It's about being love. We are lovers. We Black women, we are the best lovers in the world. And why is that? Because we are the originator. We are the mothers. We are the mothers of the earth. So until we stand on that truth and stop being the thoughts of the earth, then nobody will respect us. Because if you don't stand strong and stand up to be that woman that you're supposed to be, then your children will respect you, your husbands will respect you, your friends will respect you. We got to stand in line and not be wavering here and there because to go along to get along. We got to stop going along to get along and stand for truth. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow, when she said we're the original lovers, I'm like, that's what my husband told me. Was she in that room when he said that? Well, you know, you said a lot, and I never apologize because this is you're just passionate, so it's all good. A question I have, and I got to present this to you, and I guess this could be the last question. We'll end this at 10. I'm seeing a lot of changes since the women's movement. I don't know if it's a lot in your opinion, but the changes that I'm seeing is now people are working together. Do you guys still believe that Black women are not supporting each other or working together? That we have the craft the barrel mentality. At one point it was like that, where I can ask someone like, oh my God, that's cute. Where'd you get it from? Oh, I don't remember. But I ask anyone who's not of that my color, and they're like, girl, I got it from Ross. It was $10.99. I had a coupon, and I went on a Tuesday. And it's like, they were so loving. But when you ask your own, it's like, so what I tried to do, and what I am doing, not tried, what I told my interns and my mentees, whenever you see a woman, any woman, you make sure you give at least 3 women compliments per day. Okay? I don't care what it is, because we don't know what women are going through every day. We should support one another. You don't have to love her, but you have to respect her, because you don't know when she's looking at you. Because I've had this case, because I'm in Atlanta. Oh, I'm going to get controversial here. And I would always give compliments. But I've noticed when I would give compliments, women would ask me for my phone numbers, and I would give it to them, because I'm not a stranger. I've not met a stranger, okay? So my husband's like, you always talking to everybody. You in the restaurant, you talking to everybody. So I'm giving these women my number. They will call me, ask me out on dates. And I'm like, on dates? I said, all I just did was give you a compliment. They thought it was a come on. So what I started to do was I made sure that I would say, you know what, no disrespect, and I'm totally, heterosexual, but I'm like, I had to preface my compliments. Like, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're wearing your crown, or girl, those shoes, you working it. Look at that smile, baby. I would say things like that, white, blacks, Indians, whatever. Because in the beginning, when I would talk to women, their shoulders would be like this, like, what you want? And then when I would give the compliment, the shoulder would go down. Because it's almost like when we go out, we have this armor, like we're ready to fight, or we're ready, like, what you want? Like sizing each other up. Girl, Zena, live in Atlanta, girl, please. So that's what it was like for me, because I'm always like, ooh, oh my, because I love giving compliments. But then I started hearing some of my friends would say, hey, such and such think you're a lesbian, or they want to know if you're straight, or even though you're married, they want to know will you creep outside your marital status and be with another woman. I'm like, what in the tarnation? What? Look, I ain't got nothing against, the lesbian community, LGBTQI, LMNOP, nothing against them. But for me, that's just not who I am. I just love people, all people. So I didn't understand. So then I stopped giving compliments, and I said, Jackie, keep giving it. What's the worst case? So what if they think you're gay? Just give the compliment, because you're doing it with intentional heart. And I'm doing it, my sisters, because some women are so strong that they have no one to go to. No one is pouring into their cup. And we have to continue to pour into each other's cup. Strong doesn't mean that I don't know, somehow they make this thing about when we're strong, we can't cry, because I think all 6 of us on this platform are strong women. But I'm telling you, I started going to a therapist because no one was checking on me. No one was pouring into my cup. No one was filling my well. And I'm like, yo, I'm helping, I'm listening, I'm helping. No one's pouring into me. So I started to doing self-care. So I'm going back to the question, do you guys believe now we're at the point that Black women and Latino women, that we're supporting each other, we're loving each other like we should, or do you think we still need improvements? I know we all need improvements, but where do you think we are with that? I'd like to start with you, Miss Nadine. Unmute. And then Zena.
Thank you. I would say we've come there. I've always been an optimist, but looking at just the way several years has gone by, working together, you're gonna always have individuals that however they want to be. But the bar has been raised, and I do see that we are, and I've always thought, that we have. And I just look over when somebody like you, those impressions that you was given, I was like, honey, that's their loss. Because like you say, you're coming from within true intentions of complimenting, and a person that's within their own, they got to come, like they say, come up to your level of understanding and loving and being. I'm gonna end it with that, and I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Zena?
I in some cases I believe that we've made a lot of strides. In other cases, it depends on the situation. Because let's say I can encounter a young lady, and like I said earlier, I talk to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. I'm willing to start a conversation. I think in the workplace it becomes a little bit more difficult because unfortunately a lot of people have the mentality that you're competing for their position or you're trying to take something away from them. In a lot of cases, such is not the case. I'm not looking to sit there and share the space that you occupy. I'm looking to either surpass you or strive for what is meant for me. So let's say if you see someone in the street and you say, oh, I really like that dress. A lot of times they'll look at you like, oh, okay. Or why are you talking to me? And that sort of way. So for me, for someone to respond in that way says a lot about how you feel about yourself. So it's not about me, right? And maybe later on that day, or if they get enough compliments within a lifetime, maybe they'll realize that they mean something or that they're valued. Because I think that a lot of times people feel so beat up, and the whole concept of the angry Black woman, because, you know, this and that, and all these different stereotypes, it makes it difficult. I think that we've come to a certain point, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Okay, because I just posted that we're here to complete, not to compete. Okay, that because the only competition is the one in the wall, in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? I don't want what you have because I don't want to walk in your shoes, Zena, on what you had to do to get there. And I know for damn sure you don't want to walk in my shoes to see what I had to do to go here. So we all have to, you know, just support each other. I look at it as whatever you need to do, whatever resources I can do to get you there. That's my job, because whether you pay me back or not, that's not it, because God gonna pay me back. But why shouldn't I support you, love on you? I don't have to like you every minute, but support you and love on you. Miss Adina, you're next.
Well, I completely agree. And I feel so honored to just meet these wonderful women and reconnect with Zena. And I totally get, you know, I really don't do compliments. Sorry. I should, but I think what I do is when I'm engaged in a conversation with someone, I compliment the way that they think. And I think that's more of a turn on for me than what they have on. When we're having a conversation, I have no problem saying, I really appreciate the way that you think and that how you shared that with me. And I think that it empowers females to want to express themselves more. Yes, it comes from, you know, exterior first, you know, oh, the shoes look nice, the dress looks nice, but what they have to say is so much more important. And that's what my turn on is. You know, I really like how every female here has expressed themselves, and I've learned a lot when to hold back, when to come forward and say what I have to say. And I think that's like an inspiration for me. So with regards to if we've improved, like we all can admit, we have to continue to speak about it, make sure that I go out of my way tomorrow to at least compliment somebody, go out of my way to have a conversation with someone that I normally wouldn't conversate with, like Zena does, and just educate myself, you know, and empower other women and be there and be supportive. Yeah, I definitely think that we have a lot of work to do, and I think this is a great platform. And whoever's watching it, I hope that they go out and they make those strides to bring up another female to this level that we really need.
Well, Adina, let me say something to you. This is one-on-one. We talk almost every morning. And I want you to start telling me that I'm beautiful. I don't want you to tell me that I'm smart and I'm intelligent. Hell with that. I want to hear, Jackie, you're beautiful. So I'm letting you know now.
You're a beautiful person.
I don't want to hear, Jackie, you're intelligent. I love your platform, and you're smart and you're witty. I don't want that. I want to hear I'm freaking beautiful.
You're gorgeous.
So tomorrow morning at 6:30 when I call that ass, you better tell me I am beautiful. Say it with me.
Will.
Jackie, you're beautiful.
Jackie, you're beautiful. All of
Okay.
you are beautiful.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
I didn't ask you about them. This is me and you. Okay. Okay. T. All right, T, you're next. You're up, T. Okay, Tiara, you next. You're on.
My thing is, my thing is, I love to inspire and treat people how I want to be treated. You know, growing up as a dark-skinned female, you don't get too many compliments. You'd be like, "Oh, you're pretty to be dark-skinned," or "You this." Why can't I just be a beautiful Black woman? Why I have to be because of this or because of that? And it goes back to how people were trained to see beauty in people. If you have light, just because you're light skinned don't mean that you're gorgeous or drop dead beautiful. There's some people who are light skinned that should not be exposed to be as light as they are. But I'm not gonna be trying to, go there. I'm just saying, just because you're light don't mean it's right. But my thing is, we need to learn to love on each other the same way how you will want to be inspired. All it takes is a few seconds. Like in the laws of the Bible is treat you want for your brother what you want for yourself, right? Well, that's in the Holy Quran. It says that, and in the Bible is treat people how you want to be treated too. You understand? So my thing is that it only take a few seconds to give someone a smile. That's my thing. If I give you a smile, that gives my day a whole blessing. You understand what I'm saying? Because all it takes is one word. We all get up with the same black face. We all get up with the same woes that Black people have to deal with, no matter what state you in, no matter what building you in, no matter what borough you in. We all go through the same form of dis-ease from day to day, alongside being a woman. I'm going through menopause, I know that. So a lot of sometimes it's trying to hold that with dealing with everything else, my husband, my children, friends,
Jackie.
all these things. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, why not how to give off a little positive energy so that you could receive back the same kind of love. Or we all get so much flack for being Black. That rhymes, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be nice to just say, I love you, Black man. People be looking at me like I'm a weirdo sometimes. When I'm going to work out, just started working out, and we're in the park, and I see my sisters, everybody trying to do it. I'm on a high because I'm loving how people are trying to get back into giving themselves love again. Because of the hump and bump, and we on a master's call, we don't get to give love to ourselves, let alone our family. You understand what I'm saying? So no kidding, people are walking around upset, angry, and frustrated. But all it takes is one smile, one hello, and one positive word, or like you said, telling somebody they're beautiful, that will lighten up their world. One person, try it. I call anybody out just to try it. And then you will see how much it impact you. You understand? Once I do that, my day is blessed. Once I made them laugh, or make them smile, or celebrate them, or when a female walk by, I'm not gay, no homo. When I see a beautiful woman, I just gotta let her know, you are so beautiful. Oh, I love your hair. I love your shoes. I love your outfit. I'll be excited. And people be looking at me, and my children be like, well, no, because if we're not excited about each other with that exuberated love, how can anybody be excited about you? So I'm trying to give off what I want to get back is that illuminating love that Black people give. You know what I'm saying? When we love, like I said, we the original lovers. We are the original love, because there ain't no love like a Black love. There is none, because it's so unconditional. We was giving white babies our breast milk, for God's sake. With all that was going on, we was giving some of our breast milk to these children. So love had nothing to do with it, but by that time, love was there because they started to take care of that child as if it was their own. So whether it was white or Black or blue, whatever it is, they know that was a being that needed that love. So they gave it unconditionally, whether they was getting a whip on their back by sundown or getting a whip on their back sun up. They had to be there to breastfeed and do what they supposed to do. Right? So my thing is, we have to learn how to just love on each other without even thinking about it.
And when I look at all 6 of you, all 5 of you, I see a bit of my personality in everyone. So I see, because like T, you and I are like, we'll go in a restaurant like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And walk over to a person,
Yes.
And so I see it, because when you guys are talking, I'm like, that's a little bit of me. 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 And that's so true. And it's so important that we give that love, because we don't know how long we're going to be here. We should support each other. Sabrina, I don't think I got to you on that. What is your What is your response?
Oh, that's me every day, all day. It's so easy for me to compliment a woman or anyone for that matter, because I'm confident in who I am. So it's so easy to walk up, and I've done it so many times. It shocked you. I go up to the meanest face, to the diva that thinks she is the sun rose and set on her, because she is the one that's hurting the most, because she's hiding. She has all this stuff on her to hide whatever hurt. And I'll say, phenomenal woman, thank you for being you. Phenomenal woman, thank you for surviving the hell that you went through. So I had the opportunity to tell you just how great you are. And you're like, anywhere, it doesn't matter who it is. And I want to, before we get off, I want to say to all of you beautiful women, thank you for surviving whatever hell you went through, just so I had the opportunity to meet you today. I say to your parents, thank you for bearing you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to love on you at this moment. If your parents are gone, I want to say to the heavens, thank you for having you and for being who you are. Thank you for surviving and looking good in it. Thank you, beautiful women, for standing strong, for being a backbone to whomever and whatever situation you have gone through. Thank you for being here. Thank you for rising above when you just wanted to give up. I thank you, all beautiful, phenomenal women, women that know your worth. I thank you for not giving in and for not settling. I thank you, beautiful women, for raising your head, walking with your back straight when all you want to do is lay down because you're tired. Thank you. I love you to life. And I leave you with this. When you know your value, no one will ever be able to diminish your worth.
Now you see why I love all of y'all? Because each and every one of you ladies are the epitome of what black girl magic seems to me or is to me. Latina magic, everything. Because each and every one of you are strong, because I can't hang with no weak-willed woman, okay? Y'all put me in my place. Zena check me when she needs to check me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. She checks me. Sabrina, you're responsible for me not wearing orange and my hair corn braided back and with some things on my wrist. Adina, she just holds me down. When I feel like I'm about to break, she calls me at the right time. T, you ride or die, so believe you last. Miss Nadine, you have inspired me, Miss Nadine, to be more civic minded, to be, especially when it comes to the NAACP. You are the epitome of Black excellence. Do you know who Leslie Uggams is? Do you know who Eartha Kitt is? Do you know who Diane Carroll is? Do you know who Ruby Dee is? You belong on that level. This is where you belong. This is where you are, Miss Nadine. Now, sometimes people like to tell people things solo dolo. I'm putting it out there. This is on there forever, Miss Nadine. You deserve those accolades. Tyler Perry did a studio for Ruby Dee. He needs to put one for Miss Nadine. The NAACP is freaking lucky to have you, Miss Nadine. When I need something, you are the first person to like, okay, you always connect me. You love me like I'm your child. I think you love me better than your children, but don't tell your children I said that. But you see, Sabrina, me and we got to fight for this. You connect, since I've come to Georgia, you have restored a certain thing in my spirit. Okay, I met Sabrina, same thing with Sabrina. I met her. It was a talk show. Someone told me I need to connect with her. Sabrina's dragging me around. She knew I was involved in sex trafficking and human trafficking. She's like, you're going to get certified. We're going to do this. I said I wanted to talk at, what was that college? Huh?
Clark Atlanta.
Okay, I said I wanted to talk at Clark Atlanta. That's been my thing that I wanted to do. Between Miss Nadine and Sabrina, they're like, okay, you can do a vegan talk. I'm like, what? When I went there, when I say this, these women just go into their resources, and Miss Nadine be pulling out of her bosoms and give me her resources. Oh, is my bosoms okay? Okay. She goes into her bosom and digs deep and shares with me the milk, all the nutrients that's in the milk. Okay, she nourishes me. Sabrina, same thing. I can call Sabrina. Sabrina's like, she'll be pulling me, and I'm like, yo, what's up with these sisters? I'm loving that. You know what I'm saying? T, look, I was your sister's friend. You became my baby sister. You my ride or die. You the one when I'm driving the car. You when I'm doing whatever, you gonna do the getaway. You gonna be my lawyer because baby, you bring it. You brought it, okay? And I'm sure I'm gonna get some emails about you later on, but it's all good. It's all about love because everybody on this platform, I ride for you and I die for you. I love y'all. Zena brings that class to me that I'm like, sometimes I be getting ratchet and she just bring that class, but I know when to get ratchet and come back, but Zena is just, we reconnected after so many years and I just love you, Zena. Your mother should be proud of you. What'd you say?
Y'all's secret, she couldn't stand me at one time.
I couldn't. It was a misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding by a third party. And Zena, I've known Zena for so long, and I blocked it out of my head. But when we started, I picked up the phone because y'all know I'm woman enough to say I'm sorry. I picked up the phone. I called her. Because I tried, and I said, I'm sorry, I apologize, because I don't know why, it was my fault. It was my fault why we disconnected, and I'm out there saying that. But Zena, you have been a godsend in my life. I love you. You and Adina, the two I've known the longest, you in 3rd, 4th grade, Adina in junior high school, Huddy Annex. I think it was Huddy Annex where I met Adina and Madeline, right? Yeah. And so I just want to say that I love y'all. Y'all are just phenomenal women. Anything that y'all need from me. And I want y'all to promise me we're going to do this again. We ain't going to do 2 hours. The first time had to be 2 hours. But we're going to make sure we got to do it again because I love the mix. I love tea. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Girl. Wait. I want y'all to make sure ain't nobody outside like, some guys in black with black glasses.
Yeah.
Coming for me.
May I just say that it was my privilege to meet these beautiful women, and you ladies inspire me. And I just want to encourage you with some peace, some love, some great spirit to let you know that self-love is the best love before you could give any other love. So if you're not giving yourself that self-love because you're always helping people, which I'm sure you ladies are, please give back to yourself because the strong ones always give out their energy to everybody but themselves. But you ladies are shining. I see your spirits are illuminating through the screen here. And I wish I could give you all individual hugs. So I'm giving you guys ear hugs from my home to yours. And I'm blessed and grateful to have the moment with you guys today. I really am.
Well, we're going to end the broadcast, and this is probably going to be a 3-parter by the time we get this edited down.
No, that's right.
It's wonderful. Again, thank you, T. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you, Adina. Thank you, Sabrina. Where are you, Adina? You have disappeared again. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, Zena. Come on, Adina. We got 10 minutes to come. 10 seconds because we're about to end it. So we want to thank everyone for tuning into the Women Are Worthy show. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our Women Are Worthy page. It's the Women Are Worthy show on Facebook and Instagram. It's the Women Are Worthy network on YouTube. And we're going to be on tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be having a show that's called To Mask or To Unmask. Because I don't even know why we got to do a show on that because folks just don't listen.
Wow.
But living in Georgia.
Right.
So with that, Farewell, so long, da 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 da. Bye, Adina. See ya. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you for
Bye.
having me.